All right. We have Sammy. So we have everybody we need to kick things off. So anybody who's late, they could just roll in or catch the recording later. So what is up, everybody? Welcome to the bi-weekly community call. Sorry again about the Discord event that said it was starting an hour later, and then there was also an extra event saying that it was starting an hour later. I think daylight savings time just kind of broke everything. So I'll make sure it's fixed going forward. That way we don't have any issues or confusion. But this is also the first time that we've had guests on in a long time. And so we're joined today, at least for the first 10 minutes or so of the call, by Nathan and Merrick, who are building a project called Cascade, which is a sort of cross-chain liquidity incentivization layer. And we are partnering with them on the sort of pilot rollout, I guess we could call it. I guess we can cover the timeline here in a bit, but yeah, welcome Sergeant Peppers and Merrick. I don't know if you guys want to give a brief introduction about yourselves and what you do at Cascade, and then we can kind of go into a brief introduction of what Cascade is.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Colton. Hey, everyone. It's a pleasure and an honor to be back here with you all. I see a lot of familiar faces here. Some of you may remember me from the Pico beginning of Redacted's early days. Also, more recently, I helped out a little bit with Dinero's white paper. But anyway, last couple of months, I've been helping build out Cascade. And, I'm looking really forward to Cascade's partnership with Redacted. There's a lot to talk about, so I'll turn it over to Nathan, who's the founder of Cascade, to share some more.
Hey guys, great to be here. I'll just give a brief introduction as Colton suggested. Yes, I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Cascade. I've been in crypto for quite a while and DeFi for the whole time. Started off with the early days of front running and capturing externalities, which became known as MEV. Built some blockchains, built some dApps, almost got doxed, left the space, came back, and now we're here. So great to be here, and it's an honor.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining, guys. I think, given that you'll be rolling out the pilot very soon and we'll want to drive some traffic to what you guys are building, I think it'd be a good opportunity to sort of like describe what Cascade is and what it kind of means to be a cross-chain liquidity incentivization layer.
Yeah, sure thing, and thank you. So, yeah, what I'll do first is I'll tell you a bit about Cascade as a protocol, and then what's entailed with this partnership with Redacted. So, to begin, Cascade is a bootstrapping layer that first and foremost focuses on bootstrapping volume. Most protocols in the space generally focus on bootstrapping liquidity first. This is a paradigm from the what kicked off the initial DeFi summer of the last bull market. What we've noticed is that there's been no protocol to bootstrap volume, demand, even though it's an economically obvious equation that demand will lead to supply, in the sense that volume will lead to liquidity. The idea of Cascade is to be at its core, it's an aggregator combined by an incentive as a service layer where protocols like Redacted can run campaigns, engaging the community to trade more frequently and reward them for trading. At the end of the week, the traders who are participating in this campaign can claim the tokens and hence get essentially cheaper trades and rewards for trading. As a result, we get more volume, right? Obviously, Cascade is a company. We gamify a lot of these steps. We add in points. We add in leaderboards. We have tiers for those who trade the most and can earn more points. Because the fundamental idea is to engage a community with incentives for trading, and as a result, be able to increase volume. More volume results in more LP fees. More LP fees results in more liquidity. More liquidity, which means deeper liquidity. Lower slippage. Lower slippage means more volume, and you get back to the start of the flywheel. So our approach to bootstrapping flywheels is to focus more on volume first and not liquidity. And now, in relation to the partnership with Redacted, what's being done is there are 30K of BTRFLY tokens up for grabs over a period of 3 weeks. This is pretty awesome. Obviously, Marek was a team member at the early days of Redacted. I've been a fan of Redacted with the rest of my team since it all kicked off a little while ago. So yeah, it's awesome to be running this campaign with BTRFLY. And essentially the way it works is the community, so you guys and everyone else in the Redacted community can come to the Cascade interface, which is going to be live with this first demo Monday of next week. And you can essentially just trade through our grader on any pool that has Redacted ETH, Redacted WETH, and whatever happens to be, and earn points. For every dollar that's traded, you earn 1 point at the beginning. Depending on each user's percentage share of points that they've accumulated, they can claim an equal share of the 10K of BTRFLY tokens that are being offered every week at the end of that week. Fundamentally, this is very simple. There's a leaderboard to view who's got the most points. But what can also be done is once, at the beginning, every user will start on tier 1, which is $1 equals 1 point. Once they pass by 10K trading volume, they get to tier 2, which is 1.1 points per dollar traded. Once they pass 50K trading volume, it's 1.2 points per dollar traded. And once they pass by 100K trading volume, which is tier 4, it's 1.3 points per dollar traded. The whole concept is to drive more volume to the to the BTRFLY pool, thereby getting more volume, getting more LP fees, and subsequently rewarding the LPers in these BTRFLY pools with high yields.
Dope. Yeah, that was a pretty exhaustive answer. And so since we're kicking off on Monday, I'm pretty curious, and I'm sure that the people here who I'm sure some of which plan to participate are curious about, it's like, what will the sort of user experience be like? Is it any different from like trading or providing liquidity or whatever else on existing dexes? Is this something that you guys try to make easier? I guess overall, what can users expect whenever they are actually like interacting with the Cascade application itself?
Yeah, sure. So obviously this is our demo, right? We're planning on going live with our main MVP in July, which will allow more protocols to run campaigns on Cascade. But fundamentally, we're trying to use some of the principles that exist on Uniswap or on 1inch, on the DeFi Llama swapper. But the only difference, and it's a pretty key difference, is that every time you trade, we will tell you the number of points that this user is earning from this trade, and we'll tell you the value of those points at that given moment. So we make it very clear the value of the trade and the impact of that trade, so that users can then view their points on a separate interface and accordingly to the value of those points and have predictive knowledge on how much their trades have been worth in this campaign for this week. And of course, the campaign will run over a period of 3 weeks, hence 30K, 10K per week. And essentially, as I said, it's you trade, you earn points, you can view the points, and at the end of the week, you can claim those points for BTRFLY tokens.
Oh, and yeah, I'm expecting a few people here.
Did we lose him, or is it just?
No, I can't hear him either.
I think he's dead.
Rugged.
Still better than Twitter Spaces.
Very true.
Hello?
Lock it in,
Am I back? Am I back?
Lock it in. Lock it in, Colton.
Yes.
Am I back? Fuck, man. I'm sick of this shit. Anyways, I honestly don't know what's going on. Discord's so cursed. Sammy, you were about to say something, so feel free to take it away.
No, I was just gonna say, like, while you're coming back, if there's any questions, feel free to just drop them in the town hall stage chat. I guess, like, as you guys know from like the previous call, there's some people who weren't on the previous call, but we are prioritizing like certain metrics that we didn't prioritize for before, just because of recent developments we're doing on the BTRFLY liquidity side and its reach and availability. So yeah, excited to be like an alpha partner with this, and yeah.
Cool. And yeah, go ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, there's something else really cool that I wanted to touch on. You asked at the beginning about how we do this cross-chain idea of bootstrapping. And something really unique about Cascade is the ability to offer rewards on one chain to complete trading tasks on a separate chain. So this is pretty cool. What this means is as BTRFLY goes more cross-chain, especially as this layer 2 roadmap comes to fruition, especially following the recent Dencun update for Ethereum, what can happen is, despite there being lower liquidity for the BTRFLY token on, let's say, on ZK Sync, Redacted can offer rewards being paid out on the more liquid chain, being Ethereum, for trading and earning points on ZK Sync. And the idea here is that you can leverage the fact that there is liquidity on one chain to increase liquidity on a separate chain. And hence we call this the reconcentration of liquidity.
And as we sort of approach the final 10 minutes here, I want to kind of give you guys the stage, either you or Merrick, to cover anything else that you think is like super important for everybody to know before we go live Monday. Like, where can they keep up with you guys? Like, what can they expect? Any strategies you guys suggest to sort of climb the leaderboard? Anything like that? It's sort of open stage for you guys to share anything that I may have missed.
Yeah, awesome. And again, thank you for this. So yeah, definitely check out our Twitter and join our Discord. We have a growing community. I'm not going to drop too much alpha, but we have over 40 partnerships lined up. We obviously went with the best of the best to kick it off. But yeah, we have 40 partnerships. We've been offered a number of grants from different chains. So yeah, there's a lot of good traction with Cascade at the moment. In terms of strategy, trade the most and trade at size. Something that we're doing, because there's obviously high gas fees on Ethereum, is we're offering gas rebates if you trade more frequently. So we've got an underlying algorithm which tracks who trades the most frequently and puts them in the running to earn rebates at the end of the campaign. So trade more frequently. Don't worry about too much about gas fees. We'll definitely be covering those from our treasury. And yeah, just get involved, pushing more volume. It definitely benefits Redacted, benefits Cascade. The more volume we can get, the more we can grow and the faster we can grow. And yeah, just keen to be here, keen to be partnering with Redacted for the pilot. And Marek, I'll hand it to you if you have anything else to add.
Yeah, just that I'll add the links to our Discord and Twitter in the chat.
Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys joining. It's a pleasure as always. We're looking forward to the launch in a few days. We'll make sure to, again, I guess Merrick will drop the links. Make sure you guys follow them, keep up. And then as usual, we'll announce everything when it's ready to go live. So looking forward to see how this plays out in the coming weeks.
Let's fucking go. Thanks again, guys.
Let's go. Well, thanks, guys. Now we will move to covering some of the other stuff we had on the agenda here. We've been super busy on the cross-chain side. So I think on the last community call, we covered how that the cross-chain expansion, I don't think it was live yet. And so we pushed it live basically 2 weeks ago, I think now. We started off with Arbitrum, Optimism, and BNB chain. And now we are on way more chains. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but we've been kind of like announcing them as we have partners go live. And so this cross-chain expansion is in collaboration with Layer 0, which has been super, super helpful in making sure that everything launches smoothly and everything works smoothly. Sammy, I don't know if you wanted to touch on the sort of Layer 0 partnership a little bit as it pertains to like the cross-chain side of stuff.
Yeah, sure. So you guys have seen we're doing a big push now on all of the different chains that Layer 0. I'm pretty sure it's over like 70 chains that they have set up. Obviously, not all of them make sense, but not all of them make sense. But at the same time, there's a lot of them that do. And there's a lot of them that we've been talking about for a while where, Hidden Hand, we could have taken a Hidden Hand there, but it doesn't necessarily make sense because there's not really like mature ecosystems. But like now we're in a position with PXETH and eventually Dinero where being early to these ecosystems is actually what will give us that edge. So right now we're the most incentivized LSD on Scroll as of today. Very soon we'll be the most incentivized LSD on Blast, other than Blast ETH, obviously. And a couple other really unique angles we're taking for growth that others aren't necessarily looking at, just to touch on a few so it gives context. Lido is obviously Lido. Rocket Pool mainly focused on Ethereum, very hard for them to grow and scale. FRX ETH is focused on their L2, their own L2, where we're focused on every other L2. What else is like, others are focused on the restaking stuff, which we're going to be doing as well. But yeah, like, right now there's like a ton of L2s. You guys probably see there's a new L2 launching every day that are hungry for TVL. And we're in a position now where we can come over very early in these projects like Lifecycle. I'm not going to say that you'll get an airdrop for like, using PXETH on these chains, but, sometimes they're as obvious as, a bridge, you'll get points for just holding PXETH on one of these dexes or something, right? So use that information as you will. Yeah, I think that's. Is there something else you wanted me to talk about?
No, that was good. And now I was gonna go through all of the various partners we've launched with over the past couple of weeks on each chain. So one of the first partners we went live with was Velodrome on Optimism. As you all know, they've been kind of like a close collaborator for a long time. We're like one of the first teams to get one of their VE NFTs. So this dex like made a ton of sense to expand to, mostly because we have the governance power available to us to control emissions, at least to some extent, to our pool there. I don't know if, it's pretty straightforward, but I don't know if there was anything else that's worth adding there, Funky, with regards to Velodrome.
No, I think you got it on the nail head on Velodrome. Yeah, we've been having really good volume, really good TVL there. The rewards are really good, and yeah, really excited to have some really good PXETH liquidity on L2, just because like gas costs and stuff like that, it's significantly better, especially after the recent ETH upgrade. And yeah,
one thing I'll add also is that, there's been a ton of people complaining about gas. Obviously, this is out of our control, but we are taking some ideas to, like, I guess you can say, like, the R&D phase in terms of how we can reduce the gas costs for everything, mostly revolving around batching strategies, delayed staking, trying to make the operation on chain as simple as possible for the user, and then a lot of it getting batched together and done in bulk so that the gas cost is, reduced. So that is something we're like looking at and actively exploring, because now the L2 launches are going really well. And because the L2 launches are going really well, then, obviously that means that we should like double down on it and, you know, keep on working on ways that we can, create native deposits on these L2s and make ourselves like the cheapest LSD out there.
Nice. Yeah, and next in line in terms of the sort of multi-chain partnerships is the one we announced today, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So we went live on, or PXETH went live on Ambient Dex, which is a DEX on Scroll. And the good part about this, as Sammy was hinting about earlier, is one, the PXETH liquidity pool on Ambient gets 3x the normal points. So if you bridge over to Scroll, you deposit PXETH ETH-LP, and then you earn 3x points. I think it's actually a lot higher than the wrap staked ETH pool that's on there as well. So if you're looking for points, you're looking to be early.
3x higher than the wrap staked pool.
Hell yeah. So 3x higher than Lido's pool on the same DEX, which is good news. So if you're looking for points, you're looking to be early, this is one of those sort of opportunities that Sammy was hinting at, whereas, Scroll is pre-token. I don't know if they have like a public points program or not or whatever, but it's good to be on some of these pre-token chains as early as you can be. And then Ambient is obviously pre-token, and they have a very transparent points program that's actively live. So if you're somebody who likes to hunt those type of opportunities, this is one of those pools where it seems like low-hanging fruit. So worth checking out. Anything to add? We good? Cool. All right. So additionally, on the partnership front, yesterday, I believe, so on the 14th, yesterday, we launched a new liquid staking vault in collaboration with Arrakis. So this is a mainnet vault for PXETH, wrapped ETH liquidity. We partnered with Arrakis before. They're the ones who help manage our Butterfly liquidity on Uniswap. As you all know, it's sort of like this Uniswap v3 optimizer protocol thing that allows LPs to participate in Uniswap v3 a little bit more easily and effectively. The good part about this vault is that it is incentivized with Butterfly rewards. Funky, I don't know what the rewards are off the top of my head, if you don't mind covering those.
Yeah, so we're starting with like $10,000 every 2 weeks. And yeah, we're hoping to like bootstrap around like 1 million, 2 million TVL there. I think we've got like $500,000 at 50% APR. So there's, I think, a lot of room to grow there. And yeah, if there's a lot of interest in the pool, then we can look at scaling up rewards. The cool thing about Arrakis is that at like the balance point, it's always biased PXETH. So it's a good way for us to increase a PXETH yield at the same time while also getting really efficient liquidity.
Oh, and yeah, it's actually, I think it's one of the higher yield pools on Arrakis. It looks like Lido is number one, boo. But they also have way less TVL in that pool. So, and I think it's a USDC pair. So I don't know. I guess they have to make sure the APR is cracked to make sure people don't get wrecked there. But ours, of course, is paired with ETH. So it's, I guess, less subject to getting smoked by impermanent loss. But so far, it looks like there's about 400k TVL in the pool, and the APR is still at 60%. So there's definitely, like, as Funky mentioned, room to grow in terms of TVL. And then if it expands beyond that, we of course could look at upping rewards. So as you all know, like, one of the big benefits of Arrakis is that because of the way it manages liquidity, it like allows us to do more volume on sort of a lower liquidity pool. Like, we saw the benefits of this pretty directly on the Butterfly ETH pool that we have on Arrakis, or on Uniswap, that leverages Arrakis. So pretty cool to see. I'm curious about how this will play out. Oh yeah, and quick tip. This is like a user experience tip identified by Sir Sean. I think it was yesterday, but it looks like it is much easier to deposit wrapped ETH directly So instead of like, they have this toggle on the UI that allows you to toggle whether or not you want to deposit PXETH and ETH or PXETH and wrapped ETH. It looks like there's an error if you try to use that toggle and deposit PXETH ETH directly. So try to use wrapped ETH. That way you can avoid any issues while they kind of work on fixing that, whatever front-end issue it is. Okay. Additionally, on the partner front, we went live on Whales Market, which, for those of you who aren't familiar, is this sort of like pre-market OTC trading platform. It also allows people to trade their points before they are converted to tokens, etc. But where the integration comes in is that in order for these trades to take place, users have to usually post collateral. So they could do that in cash, they could do that in ETH, they could do that in whatever else is available on the platform. And BD has made it happen such that APX ETH is now available on the platform. So users can earn the highest staking yield in the industry while waiting for their trades to settle, which is not too bad. But yeah, that's kind of one of those like low-hanging fruit integrations where it just kind of normalizes having APX ETH and PX ETH in all of the applications that people are just used to using on a daily basis. And then last on the partnership front, I think, is the Nexus Mutual integration. So now users can buy coverage on PX ETH to get protection from smart contract exploits and severe economic events, etc. So I think this might be the first of a broader expansion on Nexus Mutual. I think getting PX ETH live was a more rapid push because we've had some demand behind the scenes from people who are really interested in getting coverage for PX ETH before they start farming with it and take advantages of opportunities throughout DeFi. So shout out to Terrence for making that happen. Terrence has been biz deving, and actually, Figgy, can you also dig up that tweet that Terrence put out the other day from that cameo he got? That was ridiculous. But yeah, so anybody looking for coverage on their PX ETH before they're farming, obviously go check out Nexus Mutual. This is one of those things where, again, it just builds more confidence in the protocol. Like if people have the opportunity to protect themselves from exploits or whatever else, it goes a long way in trust building, especially for whales who like to protect their holdings. So I think that is it on the partnership rundown. Now I guess we can move into a broader conversation. So we'll leave it open for questions, of course. And then Sammy, I don't know if there was anything specific that you wanted to touch on today, sort of looking forward. No? All right, here we go. Question. Can we get some clarity be given around this transaction? I don't actually know exactly what that transaction is. Can somebody look at it?
The transaction related to the centralized exchanges.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much we can say about it. I'm not super close to it, but yeah, it pertains to our centralized exchange efforts that we are making. I mean, there's only so much we could share, I guess. Sammy, are you here?
If there's more questions, like Joker, you can DM, but everything should be pretty visible pretty soon. Obviously, there needs to be like certain parties. There's so much of the butterfly supply is locked that certain parties who need to make things happen on these centralized exchanges, not individual people, but the exchanges themselves, the market makers, etc., need supply to get these things going, right? So it's a very common process with. Okay, enough said. Okay, yeah, so you get it.
He said it's a pretty common process. Cool. So any other questions? Okay, so do I remember hearing correctly that we are working to help some chains decentralize their sequencers?
Yes, through Hidden Hand. We have one that we're working on right now. Well, I think like decentralize the sequencer is there's multiple ways to look at that, right? One is by decentralizing the fees, which is something we're doing with Mode. It's something we're doing with 2 other L2s at the moment. By sharing those fees back with the users, that seems to be like a new meta with the L2s themselves. The other is actually like more related to eigenlayer efforts and getting AVSs. That AVSs means chains that are paying EigenLayer for their security. So working with those groups, there's maybe 3 of them in the whole existence. One of them is just using Steph, but there's some others that are open to like more differentiated AVS strategies. So we're talking with a few of those as well. I think, decentralizing the sequencer is something that's probably more in EigenLayer or Espresso sort of bucket, but it's something that we can tap into and actually be the monetization of those efforts via PXC3 staking.
Cool. Does that answer your question? Dope. Anything else while we're here? We have a little bit of time left at the end of this, so I have Jaws asking about my bench press. Joke today? No. I'm actually a little bit traumatized from the whole joke situation. Getting Chang up here twice to tell the joke was probably like not a good idea, especially after the last one. The first one was like, you know what, we gonna like let it slide. But the second one was fucking egregious.
We do have one more person joining us at the end of this month, so hopefully he has a good joke.
Yeah. Yeah, Chang the traumatizer. I have Figgy throwing shade in the chat too. That's crazy.
One thing we also talked about, maybe if there's more questions, but one thing people were asking was like, how do incentives on these L2s work, right? Especially with how fast we've been going from L2 to L2. Arbitrum should be announced later. Someone already saw it, so I don't think that's like a big thing. Someone already saw what we're doing with Camelot. There was Scroll today. There's Blast. There's a bunch of others that we're setting up too. Obviously, Mode separate from the Mode ETH bridge stake. We're gonna work on PXE there as well. There's a million L2s and L1s that we're working on, but the people have the question of how do we incentivize them. So Velodrome, right? We actually don't have to spend $1 on Velodrome because we own the VE NFT, and the VE NFT gives us like a fixed amount of the vote. Arbitrum on Camelot, we're part of the roundtable, so we essentially have a free ride there as well as long with their Arbitrum STIP proposal, which for people who only look at Redacted and Redacted only is like Arbitrum just throwing money around the place. I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to say no to it. And and then I think we're probably working on a solution now where part of that butterfly availability thing that we're talking about, where it's easier for people to buy in because people are just stuck on gas. Part of that was going exclusively to Uniswap earlier. I think another part of it is taking APX butterfly of all things cross chain, because one, people want butterfly, people want liquidity for APX, right? So that they don't always have to redeem. And 2, people want liquidity for Butterfly on an L2. Now, I was talking about it a bit in one of the channels here about what chain we're going to pick. I think that there's benefits to doing multiple chains with very small liquidity, and then there's benefits to just like picking a chain, betting hard on it, and yeah. The problem with picking a chain is that if we were to do this like 3 months ago, we probably would have just done Arbitrum, right? But all the Arbitrum things went down 99%. So like, I don't think people would have been happy if we did that now, right? Blast is cool right now. I don't know if it's sticky. It's not my place to say if it's sticky or not, but yeah, if you guys have suggestions on where you'd want an APX Butterfly ETH pool on a chain other than mainnet, please like let us know. I think this is something where like, you guys are the ones who are going to be using. Yeah, a lot of you guys in this call are in APX, right? So you guys just let us know what chain, right? And then part of the whole focus on Butterfly, today we were talking about volume with the Cascade guys. Now, Joker asked the question about some of the centralized exchange stuff. I'm talking now about the cross-chain stuff. So we're putting a lot of effort into it, but moving Butterfly liquidity around isn't as easy as moving PXE liquidity around because of, it ending up being a cost for us because of impermanent loss. Butterfly like 3x, 4x from the bottom, and we didn't, all the money that we have in liquidity, we didn't see anything from that because we're sort of providing all the liquidity there. So it's a big move for us to like make a new pool, put a lot of money behind it, pick a chain that we want to do, and a lot of the chains are warm to it and stuff. But you guys just let us know what chains you'd want it to be on.
Yeah, we've had a lot of requests for base, lately. So we will, we'll see if that makes sense. I think also part of it too is like a matter of just figuring out who a good partner on each chain is going to be. Like, it's obviously better to have a willing partner to some extent in real life and on chain. Are we just going to let the market arbitrage with APX Butterfly to keep it in line with the Butterfly price? APX Butterfly doesn't have an instant redemption option, right? I'm not sure what you mean.
There is instant redemption because it's like homogenizing everybody's clocks, right?
Yeah, part of the reason we're doing APX is because if people want to access Butterfly on the L2s, 80% of the holders want Butterfly in RL, right? And there'd be no way to take RL cross-chain. Or I guess there is, but it probably just wouldn't make sense unless you move the whole project, the whole token over to another chain. So the easiest way to bring RL cross-chain is to take APX cross-chain. The APX token itself is like an index token like RETH, right? It doesn't rebase, or it's not a vault where you can claim the rewards. It uses the Butterfly that's earned from the RL lock to increase your Butterfly position, making one APX token more valuable over time, and it uses the ETH that's earned to buy back Butterfly, right? So APX Butterfly will never be in line with the Butterfly price because it's essentially just like one APX Butterfly started at one Butterfly, and then as RL went on, it adds more and more to one APX Butterfly. So one APX Butterfly is probably like 1.7 or 1.8 Butterfly right now. I don't know the exact number, but yeah.
Berachain would be sweet. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Berachain is obviously like a thing that makes sense for us. It's just it's not live yet, so it's hard for us to like say, yeah, we're gonna do this, this, and this on Berachain whenever we don't know exactly how everything's going to play out. So yeah, we got to focus on other things in the midterm until the fake chain becomes real. Cool. Well, I'll leave it open for questions for like another minute or two, and if there are none, then we can wrap it up and everybody can enjoy their Friday. Any final? Damn, Boxy, you're late, bro. Oh yeah, sure, Strife. Ask away about mode. Boxy, we're not early. The Discord basically got broken by daylight savings time, so this is like the normal time. I need to go through and fix the event. Yeah, the burgers fucking broke Discord. I hope this is like the last year that we have daylight savings time. I don't know if it's getting changed or not. I'm waiting on Strife to send this question. Here we go. Did you guys mention that the solution for staking with did you guys mention that the solution for staking modes like Bridged ETH is being figured out? Yeah, so we are in the process of figuring out what exactly that solution is going to look like.
It is figured out. We're going to announce it probably next week or the week after. Okay. Again, like no rush on either side, but it is figured out, and it is going to be generalized for other chains that we're talking to.
Yeah, so that's the big thing. Is like originally, never mind. I don't want to spoil it. There's some like cool alpha, so I don't want to fucking spoil it. Don't spoil it either, Sammy. We could just do it in the announcement. But yeah, so cool stuff coming with regards to the mode integration, and as Sammy mentioned, it will be generalized, and we are going for everybody in the OP stack. So, cool. Last call, it sounded a little bit like we were determining what was feasible. Yeah, so we're in a good spot now, it looks like, and we will go live soon. Alpha or joke? Well, who's going to tell the joke? Because we can't leak the alpha.
We should make Figgy tell the joke.
Yeah, Figgy should tell the joke. Figgy, you have to get on stage to say it. Can't do it in the town hall text chat. No, Mike. He's probably on his fucking iPad laying on the couch right now. Go grab him, Sammy. You guys can't supply your internet.
No, it doesn't have a sender. It's reinvented there. Okay, you can tell it. You can tell it in the town hall text chat. Figgy, no one's gonna laugh at it anyway.
Yeah, if you guys are ever wondering what Figgy's doing at any point during the day, he's laying on the couch with his iPad, fingerprints all over it and shit.
Okay, let's read out his joke.
Let me.
What kind of tea can be hard to swallow? Real tea?
What?
What? I
Reality.
don't get it.
Wow.
Reality.
I think he just misspelled it.
Typical. Typical. Dude, that was fucking terrible. I mean, I don't even know why we let him. We shouldn't have let Figgy do that. Okay, well, it's at that point of the call where it's kind of time to wrap it up. I apologize again, everybody. We've had a terrible string of bad jokes lately.
Ham said, "Can I have the alpha instead, please?"
No. You have to. You guys asked for the joke. You got the joke, and now you have to suffer the consequences of the joke. Just sold everything because of Figgy. Yeah, I mean that happened last time because of Chang. I think we're on a bad stretch here. Hopefully, the new hire at the end of the month can save us all. But anyways, thanks everybody for coming to hang out. Again, shout out to Cascade for hanging out the first 10 minutes. So make sure you guys check out their stuff before we go live on Monday and enjoy the weekend. Peace.